Hi guys, my name is Sydney Jones and this is my presentation for why the school that I chose should have laptops. All right, and the laptops that I chose would be Microsoft Surface, and the class that I chose would be for 4th through 6th grade. Sorry, let me fix that. Okay, so the problem. This school is technically kind of classified as a smaller school, only about 200 students for the 4th through 6th grade. So, without the use of laptops or anything else like that, it is dramatically unprepared for the diverse students, meaning like if there's special education students or any other students that could be learning impaired or any students that really learn any different. I mean, visual, physical, oral, or verbal children learn in different ways. So, with the use of the Microsoft Surface, we could adapt and allow these students to learn at their own pace and keep their work organized and also keep them entertained as well as paying attention to the lesson at hand. All right, the how. These students could use the screens as a tablet. They could use their math problem or do their math homework on the screens, such as drawing it out and working it out that way, making it fun instead of just using paper and wasting paper and pencil and having to pay for that. Um, they can also become creative and they can draw. They can draw whatever they want on it during art classes, and it's saved for the next day. And they also have the world's latest information at their fingertips. I mean, to me, that's the big one because things are constantly changing in the world that we live today. And even in the textbooks that we used as children, they are not up to date with what all that's happening. So computers are updated through the internet um, with the real-time updates. So, and also if the tablet is not, let's say, appropriate for that time, for that use, you could also use it such in like English classes, just attach the keyboard or flip it around to where you can type a full-blown paper on it, or you can access the internet and type easier that way. It's just a multifunctional laptop. All right, so the cost. Okay, I broke this down. The average cost of a Microsoft Surface is the two-in-one for schools is about $299. In total, there are 200 students from the 4th to the 6th grade, meaning that if you do it right, you only have to buy for one class at a time, and they can all use it at a separate time. So that's roughly 67. It was like, in total, it was like 66.6 repeating. So if you buy 70 laptops, meaning that there's 3 left over for if there's any broken or for the teachers to use one or just for another class to have, like 1 or 2 kids on the laptops at the time, um, then the total purchasing would cost about roughly $20,930. That's for 70 laptops. And if you think about it, the average school system spends about $3,000 to $4,000 per month on things such as paper and pencils. This does not even include what the teachers are spending alone on supplies for these students. So not only is it saving the school district money, it is also happening to save the uh, the teachers money as well. So they're not having to go out and buy whole reams of paper or anything like that. Um, so if you think about it, if they're spending $3,000 to $4,000 per month, the school system, then they are spending an upwards of $30,000 to $40,000 on supplies a year. So this has the potential, not saying that it's going to actually save it, but it has the potential of saving almost $20,000 for the school. Also, if a child brings 2 rings of paper and cartridges of ink in their school supplies, then it will help to cut back on cost as well. All right, the implementation. I'm basing this off of the school that I went to because we were the first class to allow schools or to allow laptops. And what we did, which makes the most sense to me, is keep them in the library. And there's a paper that, or with the librarian, that the teachers can reserve specific times and hours and days where they have the laptops. So um, these teachers can have them for their lesson plans, and other teachers and students won't have try to get them at the same time. Um, this way, there's equal access to them and all of this. And if there's free time, which usually there was, the students would be allowed to check out the computers the same as they would a book. So if the student needs a laptop, say for research or something, they can go check it out and then take it back to the classroom. And then at the end of the class period, they could bring it back. Um, and at the end of the day, every student would have to bring back the laptop because under the way that I did it to save the school money, these students would not be allowed to take home the laptops. They're just used during school. And okay, so if you think about it, for teachers, the possibilities are really endless. I mean, other than just what I listed and other than what you can find on the internet, there are multiple reasons why a teacher could use a laptop in school. Um, there could be computerized learning allows students to easily save their homework. We all know that especially fourth through sixth grade, students are going through and they're losing their homework on a daily basis. So it allows them to save it to that laptop and keep track of their assignments, and the teachers can monitor their progress. Um, allowing uh, computer usage helps students keep engaged and interested in the learning. I've already mentioned that, but instead of just sitting there in a traditional classroom setting and listening to a teacher speak for all day, you can have a laptop that keeps you interested. And as long as there is an adult keeping them on task, then it can keep them entertained into the lesson. This allows time for grading. So if there's a moment of time where, the students are just supposed to be working on a website or stuff like this, the teacher doesn't have to be standing in front of the class. They can be sitting back there grading and keeping an eye on what the class is doing. Um, all right, and I had mentioned this earlier already, but it's worth mentioning again as well. The world is changing so often, and there's constantly new news stories breaking and um, updates to whatever lesson you're teaching. So by use of the internet, these students have like 24/7 access for research and to have the up-to-date research for their projects. Um, so it can just help the teachers teach what is modern and what is most accurate for that day. All right, guys, that is why I think that every student, at least for this particular made up school, should have a Microsoft Surface laptop. Thank you. Bye.